Hello everyone and happy Wednesday. We are doing today another New York Times Daily Crossword Solve, this one for Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. This is a construction by Victor Schmidt, who has done apparently one solo effort and one collaboration, so this being his third contribution to the New York Times Crosswords. And it being a Wednesday, we expect some kind of theme, and we already see some gray shaded boxes in the grid, so we'll see what's going on there. Let's get right into it for today's Wednesday, August 20th, New York Times Daily Crossword. Tycoon, I mean, it could be something like Baron, but that's just a guess. We'll see if that is. Famously friendly pooch per the American Kennel Club. Is this a breed, like a lab or something like that? Not sure. What would this be? A perishable bit of apparel. I mean, if it was an L, this could be something like lay. Would that work? A Dutch beer, and spelled that way. I am not sure, and I don't know what's going on yet with the theme or the shaded squares, so I'm not going to trust necessarily that this will be a straightforward answer. Electronic setting on a floor model, demo mode or something like that. This could be Amstel. Amstel is the name of a beer. Don't remember offhand if it's Dutch. Hip Hop's Run, is it Run DMC, I believe? Marijuana component for short, this could be THC, don't remember what it stands for. Common sushi go with a miso soup. What is going on with those O's? Is this going to be O's too? Like many a coffee order to go? Interesting. Expel with jeers. Boo out or something like that. A whistleblower, could be a ref. Boo off the field, or Will Ferrell film 2003, that's going to be Elf. Adjusted the rankings of as a tournament. Reseeded, you use seeds to rank players in a tournament to determine who plays what in the initial round. Who plays who, sorry, whom in the initial round. Okay, that could work. Items seen rolling through this puzzle. Rolling. Interesting. Could it be like a die? Like a singular of dice, like a die, like a game die? Let's see. What about all these O's in a row? More than one would like. Well, it probably starts with 2. Mystery author Josephine, no idea. College domain question mark. This will be edu, the domain level suffix of the URLs of educational institutions. Could be yep, so this could be Josephine Tay, I guess. I have not heard of her. I had something come up, maybe. Don't know, more than one would like. Maybe this is too often? Something like that. Organization that prohibits magic 8 balls and baseball bats. Is this the TSA, Transit Safety Authority? Presumably those things are not allowed to travel with you, I guess. Michigan's Blank Royale National Park, I don't know. Cave dwellers, probably bats is usually what they want there. I had something come up, maybe could be a fib to get out of an engagement. Went letter by letter to Brits. Went spelt? Is it like that? So if you spell a word out, that's going letter by letter, and I guess in North American parlance this would say, you would say spelled, but maybe in British English you say spelt. I spelt it out. Is this Isle Royale or Isla Royale? maybe one of the other fixes as a piano, that would be tune. So maybe Ile Royale, maybe in French, although Ile is usually I-L-E with the circumflex. But anyway, the Ramones genre, I guess they would be considered punk. Boo off stage makes sense here. It's quite interesting that having to construct or having to come up with entries that have 3 O's in a row. There's a couple of those here and maybe more to come. Evolutionary missing link. Was it some kind of man? Ape man or something like that? This is a sort of a facetious example of a missing link between, our predecessor primates and Homo sapiens. Slobbery smooch could be a dog kiss. Looks like actor Lamorna Fox's New Girl. I have no idea. Before poetically is air. What's this? What every O in this grid represents? I don't know. Writer Allende, Isabel Allende, I believe. T-Rex fossil named after its discoverer. No clue. Wheat-based meat alternative. Wheat-based. I'm not sure what they're looking for there, and I think I should be fairly familiar with meat alternatives. Anyway, singer DeFranco is Ani DeFranco. Gas brand that supports NASCAR. This looks vaguely familiar, but I can't quite get it. Oh, is this seitan? Seitan, is that wheat-based? Start of many emoticons, if you remember emoticons, which were the text-based precursors to emoji. Many of them started with a colon for the eyes and then followed by whatever kind of face or mouth you wanted to make. Musician Yoko, this is Yoko Ono. Five Nations tribe, Seneca maybe as a First Nation. And that could be part of the Five Nations. Lead into center or room, a rec center, a rec room. Classic Asimov collection is I, Robot, famously by Isaac Asimov. Is this Sunoko? And is this T-Rex fossil named after its discoverer, Sue? I don't even know. Is there okay, maybe there's a fossil of a T-Rex, like a skeleton of a T-Rex, called sort of casually called, colloquially called Sue after its discoverer. That could make sense. And Sunoco is a gas brand, so okay, that all fits into place. The Big Apple's blank drive. The Big Apple being New York, I guess. I don't know what drive that could be in 3 letters. It's all the rage. Is this just like ire, like anger? Anger is all the rage. Sometimes, usually when you have a clue with a pronoun like it, you're looking for the thing that could be the it. I feel like I'm going to have to end up guessing on some of that. What if this is die? What would this be? What every O in this grid represents? Custom in Japanese food service. Gosh, I don't know. January and November have the most federal ones. Presumably this is holidays in the United States. January is Martin Luther King Day and New Year's Day. November has Veterans Day and Thanksgiving, is my guess. Not so familiar with American holidays. Letters for a sellout. We just had this clue in a puzzle I did yesterday. Don't remember if it's yesterday's or one of last week's, but this is SRO, standing room only when a show is sold out. Scabbers to Ron Weasley in the Harry Potter books. Scabbers was Ron's pet rat. Sat blank GPS to Brits. I think it's sat nav, satellite navigation. Moody hip hop subgenre. Is this emo rap? That seems like what it would likely be. Blank quit, ... blank quit, or I quit, maybe. Switch to a news person on the scene, say go live. That's a common phrase for news programming. Change seeker. A beggar, I guess, someone who seeks change. Hair goop could be hair gel. A shape-shifting organism could be an amoeba, spelled the classical way. The only U.S. Prez born in Kentucky, and Prez being shortened, we're looking for a shortened version of the name. Is Abe Lincoln? Presumably. I don't know for a fact he was born in Kentucky, but it fits. Like some oats. Oats are rolled. We had that clue recently as well. Square root. The symbol for a square root in mathematics is called the radical sign. That's sort of that thing there. And sometimes the square root itself is also called a radical. Tats up. Inks. So you could, if you're tattooing someone, you could be said to be inking them or yourself. Custom in Japanese food service, is this no tips? And then, okay, so if we're talking about dice, then the O's could represent pips. I'm starting to understand. This looks like it is going to be Ape Man. And then Lemorne, is this going to be Moray, like this? And is this Ida Drive? Those are guesses, so if I get something wrong, I'm coming back there. Mole, for example, is an example of a spy. No lie, a scout's honor, you could say, to assert that what you're saying is the truth. Delivers as a baby, I guess you could say you have a baby, someone has a baby, is a sort of a quick way of saying that you are delivering a baby. Although the word deliver, I thought would usually apply to the doctor or the OBGYN or whoever the professional is, or midwife or whoever, doula, that's facilitating the delivery, as opposed to the person who's birthing. Like I might have clued this births as a baby if has is indeed the correct answer. Anyway, we'll see. Sameness, another word for sameness or equality, is parity. Distinctive feature of the durian fruit as its odor. Brief verse from Japan with 17 syllables illustrated here. That's a very clever clue. A haiku is a type of poem with this structure illustrated there. Material in some eco-friendly clothing, possibly hemp. Popular fabric for sort of sustainable clothing. Freddy Krueger's locale abbreviated, I really do not know. Liberal Arts College in Michigan, similarly no idea. UFC fighting style, I believe that's mixed martial arts, MMA. First receptionist on The Office is Pam, later moves into sales. After her mat leaves. Remark accompanied by a face palm. I don't know. Liberal Arts College, is this Alma or Michigan? And then I have no idea what this could be. Hope to get some more crosses here. Benedictine's title. I don't understand. Benedictine. Sounds like a pope's name. I don't understand why there would be a different title. Patty melt bread. I guess you put patty melts on rye. You can, anyway. A middling grade would be a C, like that. This doesn't look great. Oh. Maybe this is all wrong. Because frenemy of Betty in the comics, in the Archie comics, is Veronica. And it's all the rage. A fad. And then maybe this is Lamorne Morris. That makes more sense. So FDR Drive, named after the president. All of that makes a lot more sense, I think, than what I had before. Air Force Two passengers in brief. I believe Air Force Two is the state plane of the vice president. So vice presidents fly in Air Force Two. Air Force One being the plane of the president. Blank Marino, probably San Marino. Fearless or 1989 for Taylor Swift. I guess those are both eras. Boosted. Oops, I put FAA instead of fad. Boosted is promoted, maybe. And then Dom Benedictine. I guess Benedictine maybe then like a part of an abbey. Like a cardinal, or who leads an abbot, I guess. That could make sense. I'm not totally sure about that. Oh, Freddy Krueger's locale is Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay, and then I Am a Moron is a remark accompanied by a face palm. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, a little bit tricky for sure. And let's see what's going on with these dots. So if these are supposed to be die, and if the O's are representing the pips, then it looks like we have all different configurations. In fact, every single possible configuration of dice. If you look at the O's only and ignore the other letters, this set of 9 shaded squares has 3 O's in the configuration that you would normally see the pips for the number 3 on a face of a die. This one has 6 O's in the configuration for the 6, a roll of 6. This one has 2 on opposite corners, the way you would see the pips there. This one has just 1 in the middle. This one has 5 in the typical 5 pip configuration, and finally this one has 4 in the corners. I'm surprised they didn't include some kind of animation to help, or to, sort of like fade the other letters into the background or something so that we could see that more clearly. But quite a clever construction here, a clever theme. Also to have the intersecting entries here, pip and die, as the revealers. And requiring some special phrases to have these 3 O's in a row for this 8 and 9 down to get this the roll of 6 here on this particular die face. And it's interesting that then that results in, I think, just 2. This one here, 8 down, runs through the roll of 6 and the roll of 1. And this one here, 23 down, runs through the roll of 2 and the roll of 5. So we do have 2 sort of longer entries, Scout's Honor and Boo Off Stage, that have to fit within 2 of the die faces depicted here in the puzzle, which is, all of this requires a lot of planning and problem solving, and my hat off to the constructor Victor Schmidt for having pulled this off. And some tricky clues. I won't go over them all because I have to sort of get going here, but yeah, some tricky clues in this. So nice to have a little bit of a mental workout here. Some good trivia, a little bit of good wordplay, and an overall a quite well executed and complex theme here for Wednesday, August 20th. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this solve. Please let me know what you thought. Let me know if I missed anything or messed anything up. And hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and hit subscribe if you want to see when I post the next one. All right, that's all for now. Talk soon.